What's with that girl? Hey.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us to meet the dog. We actually have a new person here who is going to also be doing Meet the Dog with us, and his name is Chris.
Hi.
Chris is one of our kennel assistants, and I asked him if he would like to do and pick a dog. So today we chose
Bridget.
dog's name.
Today we're talking about Bridget.
All right. Well, where did Bridget come from?
Bridget came to us from Germany along with her sister Chloe.
And Bridget and Chloe are not actually sisters.
Yes, they are half sisters, if I recall correct.
Right.
They look like twins. They look almost identical, but only half sisters.
Oh. What do you know about Bridget?
Well, I've taken her for a couple overnights, so I know quite a bit at this point. I know that she will put her mouth on almost anything if you let her. Blankets, pillows, rocks, but she is also incredibly well behaved when she's in a home setting. I've taken 3 dogs home before, and 2 of them were pups, her and Fred, and she was the only one of the 2 that did not pee on the floor, so.
All right, so some of Bridget's, here, I'm gonna pick this up. Some of Bridget's key issues are, focus is one. Something gets her attention, she's off. Let me see, her stay with under is not that great. She is still learning though. She has a happy tail that we have been trying just about everything to stop from bleeding, except for surgery, which I'm really trying to not have that done. I don't like, if I can prevent it, I will. But she also has a bit of a cherry eye, which I brought her to the ophthalmologist in Bulger, the same doctor who did the OFA eye screenings for all the breed dogs, and she is on eye drops right now. She goes back at the end of the month to see how the drops are doing, to see if we can get that information down, and then they will decide whether or not the third eyelid, the cartilage, will pop back into place or if it will need to be surgically done. So that is one of the things that we're waiting to find out on. But Bridget is already spayed, so she will be going out as a service dog.
And she has a lot of potential.
Yeah, she does. She is
a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a very good girl. Let me see. Well, let me see if I can find some other information here on these guys. Sorry, I didn't come very organized. I thought there were more people here than there actually were today. There we go, dog weights. All right, so let's see what Bridget, we're actually going to be weighing the dogs next week because we're going to be doing the all-wormer. So all the dogs need to get weighed. Let's find you, Bridge. Hold on. Right here, we're not in alphabetical order. I don't know why. I actually don't have Bridget's weight on me right now, but we will make sure that we get that out to you. I don't see it on here. I don't see it recorded, so we will have to wait on that. But if you have any questions in regards to Bridget, now is the time to put them on, and I will log into Explore. Okay, so one of the questions that we have for Bridget is her eye continuing to improve. It actually does look a lot better than it did before.
Before it was starting to get to the point where it almost looked like it was closed. I remember when we first found it, I want to say it was back in November, I think it was, because I was feeding her that day. I was the one who first saw it. We were feeding in here. she jumped up on the stand to be, and I saw her eye was a little red. I'm like, am I just looking at it at a weird angle? I'm like, nope, that's protruding. And then it just got worse and worse to where it almost looked like her eye was just a little bit closed. But it is definitely improving with those eye drops, though she does not make it easy for us most of the time.
No, we actually have to give her a call or something for her to be totally involved with.
She's getting better. We did it, me and Haley did it today, and she stood perfectly still. So sometimes she gets it. But then other times where you're practically wrestling her, so.
All right, Chris, so Barb B wants to know, who does Bridget usually play with?
Okay, so for a long time, we had her and Chloe playing together because they were sisters. They were two of the only girls that got along. But recently, since of course she's doing spades, she's been playing by herself, which I'm sure I think it's this week that she's actually, yeah, it's Friday that she'll be playing with people again. So once that starts, we'll probably have her playing with Fred, since they're both on the same kennel side. Duke's also over here now, so we might try her out with Duke. I think when we first got her back, I want to say it was July or August, we did have her playing with Fred quite a bit. But so once she's back with playing with other dogs, we'll probably have her with Fred, Duke, maybe Chloe. We can see if they're still compatible. When we separated them, it was the funniest thing. Chloe did not handle it well. She always pushed Bridget around, but Bridget was the one who handled the separation very well.
That's funny. Does she have a favorite toy?
She does, and it's actually in here. It's the red Wonder Woman ball. I brought when we did the overnight with her, I brought that with me, and she was all over that. And she had it, she was playing with it today in the arena too. She loves that thing.
Does it squeak?
Yes.
Okay. So she likes the squeaky toys.
Yeah.
All right. Crafty wants to know, how do German girls differ from the Czech and American pups? I think the German and the Czech pups are pretty much the same. They've got that stance that we want, the shorter builds with the bulkier girth to them, whereas the American, they have the longer legs, the longer necks, and that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for tall Danes. We're looking for sturdy Danes. So that is, that's what we're looking for when we do import from Germany or from Czech. What skills on the other side of the river wants to know, what skills is she working on besides her underings day? She's working on everything. Her pace is okay, it could be better. Her focus, she's young, so her focus we still need to work on. Stairs we need to work on. Going up the stairs seems to be a challenge with almost all the dogs. It's going down the stairs that they get it. They're right in sync with our feet, so they do really well there.
I have actually worked on stairs with Bridget before. During actually the reason I took her for two was because the first time there are two stairs in my house, and she was very opposed to going up or down either of them. So I wanted to try to get her down, and she did go up one of them. It was the harder of the two, so I was very impressed with that.
She's a cuddler. Kathy Blom wants to know, why did we change her name from Buttercup? So we had to, in order to get the girls to be imported, the breeder needed a name. They're from a B and a C litter, so that they named their dogs something B and then something C. Carlene, ever since I've known Carlene, if we ever have a Merle in a litter, she always named that dog, the Merle dog, a color. So we had purple, we have olive, we have, just if you go back a ways back, they're always named a color. So I decided, well, a color for B, something interesting, well, how about Buttercup? And then a color for C, I came up with something else. And once the girls got here, that's when their personalities actually show, and that's when they decided to change the name from Buttercup over to Bridget. I thought her name should be Lefty because of her black left leg, but it sounds too much like a gangster. So, it's not Lefty. It's Bridget. And Fluffy85 wants to know, is the eye issue a common thing with Danes? It's not just with Danes, it's with quite a few dogs. And it's just that third eyelid that they have an issue with. We see it with Danes because that's what we have here, but if you actually do a little bit of research on it, it is with various breeds. On the other side of the river, do you work with them on the steps in the arena? We do not usually use these steps. Sometimes we do. We go to the hotel and we'll use the stairs there because they have like 5 or 6 stairs and then a nice flat platform.
Bridget, off, Bridget.
No.
Hey, come here.
And then it's another 5 or 6 stairs, and then another platform, and then it's like 4 different flights of stairs that we go up and down. So that's where, and it's less things for them to be distracted with. They're focusing just on the stairs. All right. Any other questions? I know that Chris does not have a coat on today, and it is cold.
I run hot. It takes a lot for me to get cold. Once it starts hitting like 20, then I gotta put the coat on.
Is Bridget, what would you say? Is Bridget afraid of anything? She's certainly not afraid of eating rocks.
Oh, no.
No rocks.
Nothing that I've ever seen, other than the stairs. Like she was like, that's not uncommon. But other than that, the stairs were the only thing that I saw that she ever got timid around.
Yeah, she's not a very timid Dane, like opposed to say Evie. Evie is very timid.
Bridget is very adventurous, as you can see. As I said, puts everything in her mouth, from rocks to she tried to eat some mushrooms at my house. It was. Yeah, no, I had a panic attack there.
We don't have any more questions. If you do have questions, you can actually hit me up at It's a Wrap on Sunday. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Or you can just email me some questions and we'll be sure to get them answered. I believe that is it. Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Other than that, she's a good girl.
Oh, she's wonderful. My little Merle. She's so wonderful.
Little Merle girl. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching and have a great afternoon.
Bye.
She's a good girl. Oh, she's a good girl.
Good job.